Boom. What is good, people? In fact, let me put the phone down here. It's going to make it easier for me to talk without worrying about holding a phone. Anyway, yeah. What's good, people? This is a video of me after having moved. I am a bit awkward on the video because I haven't spoken on camera for me in a long time. It feels like a long time. These past 2 weeks I've just been settling into my new place. Basically, everything, my whole life has been uprooted, and I'm basically living now in this room. So this is gonna save me about £600 a month, which is a large amount, and that's just the minimum. There's also other things I'm cutting out to save money, and I think I'll be saving close to £1,000 a month off my monthly expenses. So yeah, I was living in a one-bed flat, as I said before, and I moved out November the 2nd, so that was about 2 weeks ago. And the first couple of days, 2 or 3 days, basically I was just moving stuff over, putting stuff into storage, long-term storage, my furniture, and just moving, driving from here, going back to my old place, bringing my stuff to here. And that was one of the hardest moves. In fact, it was the hardest move I've ever done in my life, apart from helping my parents with when they moved out their place. But this one was difficult because my back, as I said before my video before this, I tweaked my back in the gym because of the way I've been exercising. I hadn't been doing any core exercises, I hadn't been focusing on doing enough core exercises, so my back was basically getting weaker over time. And then eventually, when I was doing deadlifts, I tweaked my back. So those few days of moving were extremely difficult. It was extremely painful. I had to be so careful when I was lifting stuff. And yeah, I remember there were times, one of those days, I remember it was midnight, close to midnight, and I was in the room of my old place with stuff all over the floor, and I was like, oh man, I've got to move all this stuff. And I was just so exhausted, I just had to take a nap. I'd basically been up since 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock that day, just moving stuff. And I was just exhausted. Yeah, that was rough. And then over the next few days, I just set the place up, just putting up the posters. Well, basically the first thing was filling up all my drawers with all the food and stuff and all my vitamins and all the stuff. And all the stuff that was in here was all in the kitchen. I had to fit this all into one room, in a small space, and then my bedroom and all this stuff. And setting up all the desk and stuff, and basically just getting this place into order. It took me a long time. It took me, I'd say a whole week. Normally this would take me something like a couple of days or 3 days. It took me a whole week because I was just exhausted from not only because of the move, but because of all the stuff I've been going through this whole year. How it's been non-stop, thing after thing after thing. And basically I was running on fumes. So that move, I was already stressed from something else. The fact I'd hurt my back, and I was still recovering from that. And now I was recovering from other things. There's other things I've been stressing. It's been a cycle of repetitive things happening over and over again. So yeah, this was another one of them. And so I felt basically burnt out already before even moving. So I had very little energy to really focus. And in the past week, I've just done nothing. I was just burnt out. I just spent the whole week just being completely and utterly guilt-free dysfunctional. So what has my day been like? What have my days been? What have my days been like? I've been waking up um, at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon or 12 p.m. in the afternoon. I get up, go on my phone, go onto Instagram. Like TikTok is so toxic. I just don't use it anymore. Just so much AI slop, so much emotionally charged content. I just don't use it anymore. But Instagram Reels is the thing I've been addicted to. It's just been my thing this week. Just scrolling Instagram Reels, ordering from Just Eat or Deliveroo, and just ordering takeaway, eating takeaway, pizza, Caribbean food, Chinese food, just basically eating, being on Instagram Reels, scrolling Instagram Reels for hours, and yeah, going to bed at like 3 to 5 o'clock, sometimes 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. It's been that dysfunctional. I decided just fuck it. I was just frustrated. Not even frustrated. I couldn't be bothered to be so strict. The last 2 years have been extremely strict, and yeah, the stress and all this has just built up, and I was like, yeah, no. So this week I just been I let it go, and I felt myself really. It's funny, even though it's been very very dysfunctional, waking up so late, eating junk food, and just going on Instagram content. It's charged me up because of being able to let myself indulge in the kind of things that I wouldn't have indulged in, and so I satisfied that curiosity, you know. I know what it feels like, and the funny thing is when I talk about my life like this, for me this is the lowest of the low. This is like the most disgusting I've ever been in for me, for years, you know. But there are people who live like this every day. They wake up, junk food, social media, scrolling, binging social media, waking up late, going to bed very late, weed, they even add drugs to it. And I'm like, how do you do that every day? Like I could literally, for me, I've been literally feeling my body disintegrating. I've been feeling pain, physical pain, like my stomach. I've been feeling my heart just not feeling great. The funny thing is anxiety. I haven't had much anxiety, to be honest. Only in the past couple of days has it been start to come through. So I've overindulged into anxiety. But for the most part, it's just been my body itself. It's just not been feeling good. And the result, you can even see it on this video. Like you can see my face. The glow is gone. I've put on weight. You can see on my cheeks. I've started to get spotty, and yeah, I just don't. The habits that you have reflect in your face. The last time I did sprint training, obviously I was obsessed with sprint training. The last time I did sprint training with grass has to have been easily 3 weeks ago, easily nearly a month ago. So yeah, there's been disintegration in that sense. So what I've decided to do is just to inspire me as I get back into this discipline again. I decided to try and take a photo of my face every day, and just create a kind of a montage, a collage over the next few months to see how my face changes as my habits improve, and basically I get healthier. Another thing is just the things I've learnt in this period of dysfunction. So one of the things that I normally do is I floss my teeth every day and brush my teeth every day. What I've been doing is I've been cutting back on the flossing, so maybe once every few days, and just keeping up with the brushing of the teeth. But one thing I noticed, which is positive, is that my gums don't hurt as much. I don't feel like there's much pain in my gums. So that's taught me that perhaps flossing every day is not good for my gums and is actually causing long-term pain. So I've decided to change. As I get back on my discipline, I'm going to change my schedule so that I have it maybe every couple of days. I floss on Monday, Thursday, or maybe every other day. That's probably easy for me to remember. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Um, Another thing is how I'm gonna use internet when I come back or when I relax after a day's work. So usually I give myself half an hour to relax after work, or yeah, basically at the end of the day. And what I've been doing to in my schedules, I have 3 days in a week where I can do um, anything, just basic, just random content, and then the rest is just educational content. But now, the way I used to do it before was I used to use TikTok, and I used to just scroll on TikTok as my random day. But I realized that it caused a lot of negativity. So for me, I'm replacing that with Instagram Reels, because I think it's actually more educational. And I've realized that the people who use Instagram Reels, they seem to be more educated or more informed. They have better informed opinions. Whereas on TikTok, it just seems to be very, very uninformed and it just feels like very low IQ content. So I feel like I'm getting dumber as I use it. So yeah, that's that. And obviously making videos again. Like even now, like do I like hear that? That's just a sign of me being very awkward and very unused to just talking. So I'm hoping that as I make daily videos again, I'm gonna get more comfortable talking again, and it's gonna feel natural. And yeah, healthy eating. I'm hoping to do a big shop today of healthy food, and I restart eating healthy so I can so I can feel good from the inside out. And I'm hoping that my new schedule, so I've got a new schedule where every morning I'm going to be doing a different ab exercise. So I've got it on here. I've probably mentioned this in my previous video, but you can see that, oh gosh, it's so hard to see this sometimes. But yeah, different ab exercises. I've got like planks, side planks, L-sits, vacuums, bird dog planks. I'm cycling through one of them every day. So 10 minutes every day. And I believe that these will help to restore my core strength. And by restoring my core strength, I'll get that farm boy strength back. Because basically farm boy strength, when you see farmers and builders and stuff, the reason why they're so strong in certain movements is because they have a really strong core, a functional core, and they can do stuff because of that. And the reason why I believe that's going to be very crucial in my recovery is that it's going to induce a feeling of confidence in myself, which is something that I haven't had as my body's been disintegrating over the last few months of not being consistent with core exercises. And that confidence is actually going to leak out into my everyday life and make me feel more willing to do stuff outdoors, more willing to go out and just basically be engaged rather than just staying in this room. So yeah, that's a summary of what's been happening, and yeah, I think quitting TikTok has been a really big mental boost. Like the fact that after watching hours and hours of social media content, I don't feel anxious. I think it's a good idea. It's a good thing to use Instagram instead of TikTok. But that's just me. Even YouTube, man. Oh, YouTube is like similar to TikTok in that uninformed and very. It feels like this is as I end the video. This is what it feels like to me. It feels like YouTube is becoming for the older generation, who are uninformed. Which is I know it sounds harsh to say that, but people who are uninformed and not open-minded, in a way, that's what YouTube is. However, the advantage of that is that YouTube people tend to be more spiritually open. They're open to things that are metaphysically or esoterically unusual. On the other hand, you also got Instagram, which is for the younger people, but also the global audience. everyone. So people were very uninformed, people were very, very informed, but there's a lot of slop, there's a lot of AI content which is slop, there's just a lot of mess. It's very disordered. So you never know what you're gonna get. But with Instagram, it's in the middle. You get a lot of informed content. You don't really get a lot of content that's very esoteric or very out there or very weird. People tend to be very rational in their responses on there. But at the same time, you don't get a lot of um, very, very engaging or very, very crazy content that you'd find, which is AI slop, for example, on TikTok. So it's for me, it's a happy medium in between that keeps me entertained. I've laughed a lot. I've had a lot of laughs this last week. In fact, that's probably another reason why I've enjoyed it so much. I haven't laughed so much in years. Just spending a whole week on Instagram Reels. So yeah, but yeah, that the happy medium is what I'm gonna use, and it's gonna keep me in a positive state. So avoiding YouTube, avoiding TikTok, but keeping Instagram Reels, I think is gonna be good. Anyway, long video. Hope you're good. Peace.